Can I 100% complete Marvel Rivals? In order to do so, I'll need to get a win on each character and get all 40 achievements in the game. And to make things interesting, I'm giving myself 48 hours to get this challenge done. So let's start off with an easy achievement, like completing an arcade match. And we're gonna try to win this arcade match with Loki. That's right, we're spinning a wheel. My first character of this challenge is someone I've never played before. What the? I fell off the side of the map. I don't know if we're gonna win this one, man. And just as I was getting used to Loki and his moveset, we lost the match. But we got 2 achievements. Master of Modes, which we earned by completing an arcade match, and Onslaught, which we earned by landing a 3-player KO streak. And even better, we got 1 more achievement. Thumbs Up, which we earned by upvoting 1 player, leading us to have 3 out of 40 achievements in just 1 match. But it's not all sunshine and rainbows, because we still have to win a match as Loki. I fire up the second match and learn that when I become invisible, I can heal myself, and that Scarlet Witch is in the game. Yeah, I just got killed by Scarlet Witch? More like Scarlet Bitch. I go on to lose the second match and realize that I gotta figure out Loki, otherwise I'm just gonna keep losing. That's when I find out that you can look up each character's abilities in the menu. And once I learned all these abilities properly, I fire up my third match, and playing as Loki finally clicks. I proceed to hold down a good ass defense with my team. Oh my, okay. And we win. That's 1 character done. Just a tiny amount of 32 left to go. But we're not done with Loki just yet, because I forgot to mention another part of this challenge. Each character in the game has an achievement tied to them, and we're not allowed to spin the wheel and play any other characters until we get a win on that character and get their achievement. And for Loki's achievement, we need to land a KO by stabbing an enemy from behind. I load up another match, and as I'm trying to get close enough to melee someone from behind, I start to realize how hard this achievement may actually be. I can't just willy-nilly walk up behind people and start hitting them. I need them to be weak enough for me to land the final hit. But by the time the enemy is weak enough, my teammates are attacking them too. Like I said, this is going to be harder than I thought. But I push on and I see my opportunity. It's now or never.
Come on, let me kill her from behind. Oh, did I melted her.
And she dies. And I don't get the achievement. And I'm thinking to myself, damn, this is gonna take a while. We go on to lose that match, and would you look at that? We got the achievement. At the time, I didn't know it. This game does a really weird thing where it only awards achievements after a match has been completed. So you never really know if you have an achievement until the end of a match. But we did it. So now we can move on to our next character. And our next character is Hela. Unlike Loki, who was a strategist, Hela is a duelist. I fire up my first match as Hela, and I try my best to learn her moveset. I'm dead, but just like before, it's gonna take a few matches, and I end up losing my first match. I go back to her abilities page, which helps me understand how to play Hela better than trying to figure it out on my own. And I'm ready for my second match.
Whoa, Iron Fist is running into a wall.
We're playing domination, and it's a best of 3 rounds. The first round goes surprisingly well. I managed to get a lot more KOs than my last game, and I start to get used to Hela and her combo. We go on to win that first round. Now we just gotta win 1 more round, and that's a win on Hela. We start the second round off pretty well, but things are never that easy, and sadly, we lose the second round. This third round is make or break. If I lose this round, I'll have to spend time trying to win my next match. I proceed to go absolutely ham sandwich with my shots, and keep the enemy team back and away from the domination point. At this point, I've had enough time on Hela to get how to play her quite well. This leads us to winning the round, and that means we win the match. Now that we have a win on Hela, it's time for her achievement. For Hela's achievement, you need to land a 3-player KO streak on a specific map, Yggdrasil Path. And of the few games I've played of Marvel Rivals, I'm yet to see this map or even play on it. I look for my next game and I don't get the map we need, nor do I get it on the next one, or the next one, or even the next one after that, or the next few after that.
Dude, I've played like 14 games. Please just give me Yggdrasil. Oh, yes! I finally got it.
Oh my god, bro.
What do I have to do? I forgot.
I finally got the map we need. So now the stakes are higher than ever, because if I don't get this achievement on this map, God knows how many more games I'll need to play before I get another shot at Hela's achievement. I try to go for the 3-player KO streak right as a match starts.
Whoa! That's not good.
And now I need to walk all the way back to the fight, while the match timer clock is ticking down. I get taken out again, respawn, walk back to the fight, get 1 KO, get a second KO, and as I'm about to get my third, the enemy Hela takes me out. I respawn with a minute left in the match, and by the time I walk back to the fight, I have 35 seconds left. This is my final chance to get this achievement. And if I don't get it in this match, God knows how much more times I'll have to queue up to get this map again. But luckily for me, I have Hela's ult. I use Astral Flock to get up and above the enemy spawn, activate my ult, and go to town. That's 3? Then the game ends, and we got it. Achievement number 5, Terror of the 10 Realms. That one got really damn close, literally down to the wire. But we got our win with Hela, and we have our achievement, which we've done in only 2 hours, 59 minutes, and 31 seconds. Not getting the map we needed really cost us some time. So let's spin that wheel again and see who we get next. And we have Iron Fist. I load into my first match as Iron Fist, and my first fight with the enemy goes just great. Where are they at? I'm not going here. Uh-oh, I'm in danger. I'm an idiot, what am I doing? But my second fight goes a bit better. Oh, I nearly killed him! Okay, that was nearly my first kill. I find an enemy Hawkeye shooting from the back line, so I hunt him down and then nearly take down a Loki doppelganger. I try to use his ult and even that goes horribly, and we end up losing that first game. And at this point I'm thinking, Iron Fist is hard. So I study his combo again and give it a go in my second match. And I start to get the hang of him. That's until I throw myself into the lava. No! Why did I fall into the fire? Oh, literally the past life kill cam is me just dying because I'm an idiot. But we win that round of domination. We got to win one more round and we get a win on Iron Fist. And I have this really stupid but funny fight against Iron Man where I have to constantly jump up to his level to even try to land damage on him. And somehow I beat him. Then I see Iron Man and try it again, but this time he beats me. Touché, Tony Stark. We manage to keep the enemy at their spawn and away from the domination capture point, and we end up winning. That's a win on Iron Fist done. Now to get his achievement. And for Iron Fist's achievement, we need to land a 3 KO with a single use of his ultimate, Living Chi. So I fire up the next match, charge up my ultimate, and get it ready. I jump through Doctor Strange's portal, activating Living Chi, and I take my chance on the enemy's back line, KOing their Loki, then their Cloak and Dagger, and finally their Magneto, to get my 3-player KO. We end up losing that match, but we get the achievement, Might of Fuxi. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. And that's a win on Iron Fist, and we got his achievement. So next up, we have Jeff the Land Shark. I load up my first game, and the gameplay is a lot different than before. I'm mainly just healing my teammates, but I get the occasional KO every now and then. I also got to ride on Groot's shoulder for a bit, which I'm not gonna lie was pretty cool, until the enemy team KO'd me. I love the little details they add to this game. I get swallowed up by the enemy Jeff, then I use my ult and swallow up only the enemy Groot. My turn, I try to spit him out and off the edge, but I fail, and I end up just taking him out anyways. The first match is nearly over, and we only have 5 seconds left to finish pushing the payload. I have Jeff's ultimate, so I use it and swallow up 3 enemies and 2 teammates. I spit out my allies back onto the payload, and I try to spit the enemies off the side of the map again. But I fail again, and they stay alive. No, they came back! My teammates lock in and we take out all the enemies. Then I take out the enemy Jeff after he swallows half my team. And now with all the enemies down, we just walk the payload in and win the game. And we get Jeff's achievement as well, which is really odd because Jeff's achievement requires you to swallow 4 enemies with a single use of its Jeff. So it makes no sense because we only swallowed 3 enemies. But I'm a man of my word. So I load up another game and I make it my goal to swallow 4 enemies in a single use of Jeff's ultimate. On my first attempt, I only get 1 person. And on my second attempt, I get absolutely no one. And even Jeff is looking at me like, brother man, what are you up to? What the? But on my third attempt, I see my opportunity and go for it. And I managed to swallow up 4 enemies. Oh, that's 4 people. There we go. Well, technically 5 because I'm counting Cloak and Dagger as 2 people. And now we've done it the legit way. So now no one can say I took advantage of an achievement bug. Honestly, me going back and doing it properly deserves a like on the video. And now that we have a win on Jeff and we got his achievement, let's roll that wheel. And up next we have Venom. I fire up my first match as Venom and try out all the abilities I just learned. It's a match of domination, so I try and go straight for the capture point, but I overextend, get caught out, and die. I run back to the capture point, and that's when I notice him. A Venom on the enemy team. So now it's our goal to be better than the enemy Venom, because if I'm not perfect on my very first try with something, then what's the damn point? I end up getting taken out by their Venom, respawn, run back to the fight, and spot him. So now it's time to hunt him down and get our revenge. It's about this time I remember the objective of the game, so I try to capture the point, but Scarlet Witch takes us out with her ultimate, more like Scarlet Bitch, and we end up losing that first round. At the start of the second round, I die, respawn, walk back to the fight, die, get revived, then die, respawn, get stopped by a Scarlet Witch, take her out, get taken out, get revived, use my ultimate, die again, respawn, get thrown around by Hulk, and then we lose. But we get Venom's achievement, Grip of Hunger. And for Venom's achievement, we needed to snare 4 enemies with a single use of cellular corrosion. And that was a pretty easy achievement, which is great, because coming up, there's an achievement that took me roughly 10 hours to get. But now we just need a win on Venom. I fire up the second match, and it's on that specific map I couldn't get for Hela's achievement. I guess they're just handing them out now. The first fight of the match goes surprisingly well, and the second fight goes just as great. As we continue to push the vehicle, horror strikes. The enemy Jeff swallows me, and he starts to inch closer and closer and closer to the edge.
Don't throw me out on the side. No! Oh, someone killed Jeff the Shark.
We push the vehicle to the next checkpoint, and now there's one final push until we win the game. And as we're pushing the vehicle, I see someone on the enemy team switch to Venom. And the enemy Venom takes me out. So now, and after the fact we lost to a Venom last game, this time it's personal. We're not losing to an enemy Venom twice in a row. So I go in the aggressive and I dive the healers in the backline and we start our push. And that's when the enemy Jeff does the funniest thing. He swallows his entire team, so there's no one left to contest the vehicle. After that, we just take out the enemy, walk the vehicle in, and win the match. And I'm also better than an enemy Venom for once. So now that we got Venom's achievement and we got a win on him, up next we have Hawkeye. I fire up my first match into a game that has already started. And just as I make it to the capture point, my team, being a player short, is already taken out. And the enemy team captures the point. But just as my team all respawn and we group back up, the enemy Cloak and Dagger takes me out. And somehow, my team ends up capturing the point. I end up getting some KOs and we win the first round. I start the second round kinda crazy.
Oh, I got someone. I'm actually kinda decent. Oh my god. What?
And I surprise even myself.
What the? I'm kind of goated on the sticks right now, actually.
Because just a few seconds ago, I was missing shots like wild. We end up just keeping the enemy back and unable to get through this tunnel, and we win the second round, which means we win the match. It's always a great feeling winning the first match of a character I've never played before, especially when you start to get the hang of things like I did in that second round. And now it's time for Hawkeye's achievement, West Coast, Best Coast, where we have to partner with the Avengers to land 10 KOs. We had Iron Man in that match we just played, meaning we probably have a handful of KOs already. So I load up another match, and someone on my team locks in Iron Man again, but he dies in a very tragic way, which didn't look promising at all. I end up taking out a few enemies with Iron Man shooting down from above, and in this quad I've got to have been assisted by our Iron Man at least a few times. We end that first round with 12 KOs by me, and man, just between me and you, I am locked in. Before the second round starts, Iron Man is all like,
"Anyone say fireworks?"
Nobody said that, Tony Stark.
Then I get destroyed by Monster Hulk and Venom. And to make things even worse, the person who was playing as Iron Man switched to Iron Fist. So now I can't get any Avenger KOs anymore. Because according to a Google search I did, they only count for KOs with Captain America, Iron Man, Thor, Black Widow, and Hulk. We go on to win the match, and we get Hawkeye's achievement, meaning we ended up getting just enough KOs. And I got MVP. So that's a win on Hawkeye, and we got his achievement. So up next we have Adam Warlock. I load into my first match and things aren't looking so good from the get-go. I notice I have 2 AFK teammates.
Brother, do I really have 2 AFKs?
So you'd imagine my surprise when we lost that first round. And for the second round,
the tank we have has disconnected. So we're 1 player down and we have an AFK.
And guess what? We won that round. I'm just kidding. We got our asses handed to us. I'm just glad that match is over, because that was a horrible first match. And for the second match, all players are actually playing the game. But the enemy team manages to overpower us with a good spam of their ultimates, and we lose that first round. In the second round, the enemy captures the point, leading us to lose that match as well. Luckily for the third match, we get a convergence map. And I think that Adam Warlock is a bit better suited for this type of match. We continue to push the vehicle while we keep the enemy team back, and that leads us to win the match. And now that we have a win on Adam Warlock, we need his achievement, Family Ties, where we need to forge a soul bond with 3 allies from the Guardians of the Galaxy. And in the next match, no one picks a Guardians character. But in the match after that, I get Mantis and Star-Lord. So I forge a soul bond between the 3 of us, and we get the achievement. And thankfully, that was one of the easier achievements to get. Up next, we have Mantis. And this is where things start to get a little bit harder, because of Mantis's achievement, Victory in Blue, where Mantis needs to assist allies in achieving a team wipe. And playing as Mantis made me realize that this challenge I've set up might be a bit harder than I thought. As one of 6 players on a team, I can't control the outcome of us getting a team wipe or not. And seeing as I'm doing this whole challenge solo, it's completely out of my control. Because normal people trying to go for these achievements or platinum the game can just swap characters if they find an achievement hard. Well, I don't have that option. I have to stick to the one character I'm on and keep trying and trying and trying until I get it. And only once I get a win and the achievement on a character can I spin the wheel to move on. My first match goes quite badly, and it's all because of the enemy Moon Knight, who just carried their team to victory in what felt like record speed. but I had a good time trying Mantis for the first time, and I even got a few KOs while trying to keep the team alive. In our second match, we capture the domination point, then do well to keep the enemy back, but they capture it back at the 99% mark. So we just charge in, take it back, and win the first round. In the second round, the enemy captures it at the start of the game, but we grab it back after they get it to 84%, and we win the game, meaning we got a win on Mantis. Now we just need to get her achievement. And to remind you again, for Mantis' achievement, Victory in Bloom, we need to assist allies in achieving a team wipe. And to get a team wipe, me and my team need to KO everyone on the enemy team, so that they're all waiting to respawn. And you get a 10-second timer before respawning, meaning we gotta take out the entire team within a 10-second window. I fire up another game, and I think the closest we got was at the end of the match, where we had 3 enemies respawning at the same time. We go on to win the match, and I get MVP. In the next match, my team doesn't get close at all, and we win that match too, and I get MVP again. By this point, I've practically got the hang of Mantis. But at just 6 hours, 54 minutes, and 22 seconds into this challenge, it made me realize I'm losing time here, leaving us with less time to get wins on the next characters and their achievements. In the next match, we have a Magneto and a Winter Soldier, which looks promising for a shot at a team wipe. They end up combining the ultimates and we take out all the enemies. But I miss out on a team wipe by a literal second or two. We don't even get close in the following match, or the next one. I even try rallying the troops with a message of motivation. So much so that I rallied myself to a 20-player KO streak. And even all that wasn't enough to get a team wipe. But even though I'm winning and getting MVP most games, I only end up getting close for the next few matches. As I failed to get a team wipe each match, my frustration grew until this moment, where I was 1 KO off of getting a team wipe again.
Oh, that was literally it. If we just got that freaking guy, we would have had it.
And after getting that close and spending 3 hours of straight gaming going for this achievement, I start to feel extremely defeated. But I knew I had to carry on, because the only way out of this hell is through it. And that's when this happens.
Is that an ace? Oh my god, we got it. And it's thanks to Adam Warlock's revive that we got to kill everyone in one spot. Thank god, that actually took like 5 hours. Come on, where is it? Let's go, dude, finally. The next one better be easy, I swear to God.
But now with a win on Mantis and finally getting her achievement, up next we have Black Panther. And seeing as I just said,
the next one better be easy, I swear to God.
This is a heads up to let you guys know that his achievement took me longer than Mantis's one. In my first game, I load in and noticed that it's gonna be a bit hard to concentrate while I play Black Panther. I test out his moveset and get a few KOs. And I spend the rest of the match just trying to nail his combo, which is to mark enemies and then attack them. Landing a hit on a marked enemy will reset my cooldowns, so I get to do my combo again. We go on to win that match, so now that we got the easy part out of the way, it's time for the very difficult Black Panther achievement, King of the Dead, where we need to land a 3-player KO streak in the intergalactic empire of Wakanda, Hall of Dajala. So just like with Hela, we need a specific map. But as we know my luck, it takes me through 5 matches to finally get the Hall of Dajala map. So far, we've lost just over an hour of time looking for this specific map, so it's really important that we get the achievement. I start the match by trying to camp the backline just as the enemy team comes out of their spawn, but only manage to get a single KO on Mantis. I try some other dives too, but I can't make it happen with all their healers around. I try a few more times, but to no avail. I need to get his combo down and pop his cooldown resets. Unfortunately, we lose that game, and I don't get the achievement. So it's back to matchmaking and I queue the wrong map, but then I get the right map, and Doctor Strange tries out some funny business on me. And as I see my opportunities, I go for them. But by the time I turn around to follow up, they're always healed back up. This 3-player back-to-back-to-back KO is so much harder than Hela's one. I end up failing my next attempt.
Oh my god.
And my attempt after that. But even though I'm failing, I'm getting better at Black Panther's combo and getting his resets down. I played through a few more games and managed to pull this off. And by this point, I've fallen into a bit of a routine. I play a few games on the map we don't need, get like a quad or something, and finally find a match on Hall of Dajala.
Yes, Hall of Dajala.
Have a few attempts and ultimately fail.
No, I want to cry so much. I freaking can't even get it, dude.
And repeat the cycle. But while I was in this cycle, we got another achievement, You Do You, which you earn by using the customizable wheel once. And coming off the back of just playing Mantis, I packed it up, called it a night, and went to bed. I wake up the next day and I'm excited to jump on Marvel Rivals, with hope in my eyes and eagerness to get this Black Panther achievement. And the cycle from the day before starts to repeat again. I'd play a few matches, get Hall of Dajala, fumble the achievement, and repeat the cycle. Yep, That's right, I've spent the entire day gaming. I take small breaks in between gaming to do stuff like shower, eat, and pee-pee poo-poo. It takes me so long that I even managed to get another achievement, Rising Star, which you get for reaching level 20 on Marvel Rivals. And by this point, and another whole day of gaming, I've had enough.
I'm playing at 9:30, bro, and just whatever happens, happens, I guess.
But I get the map, and even after hours and hours and hours of gaming, I'm tired. But I decide to focus up for one more attempt. I go for a few attempts, but ultimately fail on a bunch of them.
No! No! So close, double kill.
And that's when this happens. And we finally, after 10 hours and nearly 2 days of straight gaming, we got Black Panther's achievement.
Yes, we did it. Oh my god. And I got MVP. Oh my god, that took so long. I genuinely think that took like 10 hours.
And that means we are nearly 1/4 of the way through this challenge. But we only have 27 hours, 58 minutes, and 48 seconds left to get 26 more achievements and 24 more wins. So let's not waste any more time than we did to finish Mantis and Black Panther and move on to our next character. Up next, we have Storm, and you wouldn't believe the match they put me in for my first time as Storm. I join in, and as soon as I leave my spawn, I lose the round.
Okay, that's rough.
In the second round, I genuinely felt like I was being cyberbullied, and as I was hovering up above, they took me out every chance they got, and that means we lost that match. In my second match, I also join a game in progress. For the whole game, I just give my team a damage boost while we push the vehicle, and then I use Storm's ultimate, which is so damn overpowered.
Damn.
And we go on to win that match. That was a lot easier than I thought. And now it's time for Storm's achievement, To Me, My X-Men, where we need to assist X-Men members 10 times. And the characters that count for an assist are Wolverine, Magik, and Magneto. And luckily for me, in my next match, we get a Wolverine. So all I need to do is stay close to him, and make sure to give him a damage or movement boost when he takes someone out. But honestly, I really wish that Storm's achievement had something to do with her ultimate, because her ultimate just makes things so easy. We win that match, and I end up getting 4 takedowns with Wolverine, and 1 actual assist. So I think I have around 5 so far. In my next match, no teammates pick an X-Men character, but in the match after that, I get a Magik on my team. And she makes a questionable choice, but she manages to help me get 2 assists. And at this point, I think that this much gaming has really started to get to my head.
I need some X-Men. I need some X-Men.
In the next match, we get a Magik again, and she helps me get 3 more assists, which now equals 10, but for some reason, we didn't get the achievement. So I think that somewhere along the line, one of them must not have counted or something, and no one picks an X-Men in the following match. But in the match after that, someone on my team picks Magneto, and I get an assist with him. We go on to win that game, and there it is, achievement number 15. And now that we got a win on Storm, and we got her achievement, next we have Wolverine. I struggled to get Wolverine's abilities and playstyle in my first match with him, as I kept getting taken out.
Oh my...
And just when I thought I'd get my first KO with Wolverine,
What the where did he go?
so as you may have guessed it, we lost that match. In my second match, I managed to get a few KOs, but at the same time, I also fail at using his ultimate. Luckily for me, we go on to win that match. So now that we have a win on Wolverine, it's time for his achievement, Rage Uncaged, where we have to land 3 KOs with a single use of his ultimate ability, Last Stand. I fail my first attempt, get pretty close on my second one, and absolutely butcher my next few attempts. Then I proceed to hit a wall as I've done way too much gaming recently, so I call it a day and go outside to touch some grass. I come back 2 days later and load up my first game of the day, and then I pull this off.
Was that 3? I don't know if that was 3 or not.
And we get Wolverine's achievement. But now that we got Wolverine done and dusted, up next we have Magik. I try out her abilities and managed to get a few KOs in my first match with her. And she reminds me of Black Panther in the sense that she ducks in and out of combat. But hopefully her achievement isn't as hard as Black Panther's. I cannot go through that again. I try out her ultimate and don't even manage to get a single KO with it. And that goes for both times. But after a while playing with her and with some good healing, I managed to pull off this 3-player KO streak. And we end up winning that match. So now with a win on Magik, it's time for her achievement, where we need to land 3 KOs within a single transformation into Darkchild. And when we turn into Darkchild, we are transformed for 12 seconds, which is plenty of time to get 3 KOs. So it should be pretty simple, right? I completely mess up my first attempt and my second one too. I managed to get 1 KO on my third attempt, practically waste the next one, and on my 5th attempt I get 2 KOs and an assisted KO thanks to the fact that I damaged the enemy Jeff during an attack. And it counts, we got the achievement, which is great because now we're making up for lost time. And up next we have... Squirrel Girl? Who the f*** is Squirrel Girl? I launch up my first game and notice that Squirrel Girl has a 1-star difficulty. That must make her one of the easiest characters in the game, and it made me wonder what her powers were.
This is Tippy Toe, and she has the powers of just a regular squirrel.
I begin lobbing my attacks over to the enemy and end up getting a double kill. But even though I'm just spamming damage all game, we can't manage to push, and we lose that first match. I fire up another game and help the team out with a few KOs here and there, and we win that first round. We capture the point and hold the enemy back for the whole of the second round, and we go on to win the match. That's one half of Squirrel Girl done. Now for her achievement, Ahhh those tiny claws, where we need to do something completely different that we haven't done before, and we need to land 3 KOs with a single use of her ultimate, Unbeatable Squirrel Tsunami. On my first attempt, I get 1 KO, and on my second attempt, Iron Man uses his ultimate to nuke specifically me, while my squirrels get 2 KOs. Does Tony Stark have something against squirrels? Because if he did, that would be a bit nuts. On my next few attempts, I get 2 again, then just 1, then 2 again. But I notice that my squirrels for some reason find walls more interesting than getting a 3rd KO. I end up just failing and failing and failing for around an hour, and in a few of my attempts, my squirrels literally just run off away from the enemy. But I keep trying for ages and I somehow get super lucky and pull this off.
Surely that's 2. Triple. Quad.
And there we go, achievement number 18. And now we're nearly halfway through our achievements, so let's keep it going. Up next, we have the Punisher. I joined my first match into another game that's in progress. We get a few KOs and start pushing the vehicle. Even though I'm having a ton of fun and getting a few KOs here and there, we unfortunately lose that first match. In the next match, I load into another game in progress. And bad news, another player has already picked the Punisher. And as I can't pick any other characters, as that's against the rules of this challenge, it kicks me out for inactivity. And I launch up another match.
Punisher's literally me, man. This is actually how I look in real life. In case anyone was wondering.
We struggle to push the vehicle to the first checkpoint and we run into overtime. But my team locks in and we reach it. Now the pressure is on. We got less than 3 minutes to get to that next checkpoint. So I go into turret mode and help my team push, leading us to get to the next checkpoint. Just one final push and we win. I KO the enemy Moon Knight and the Punisher is all like,
Crazy clown.
we end up keeping the enemy in their spawn while we push our vehicle and we win the match. So that's a win on the Punisher, and we're making some good progress. But now it's time for his achievement, Smokescreen, where we need to land 3 KOs amidst the smoke of Scorch Grenade in a single game. Fun fact, at the time of recording this, the Punisher's achievement is the hardest achievement to get so far. Only 1.4% of players on Steam have this achievement. And getting the Punisher's achievement goes like this. 1 smoke KO in the first game, 1 smoke KO in the second game, and in my third match, I realized that even though sometimes I'm getting an assisted KO with the smoke grenade, it's gotta be just me getting that final hit and getting that KO animation playing on screen. So we need to do that 3 times in one game. I try to get this little raccoon in the 4th match, but he scurries away. So I just end up getting a smoke grenade KO on his friend. And I get another one too. So now we just need to get 1 more and we'll have the achievement. I fail my next few smoke grenade shots, then just as I have no time to spare, this Peni Parker uses her ultimate and cyberbullies me. Now with just 40 seconds left in the match, I fail, die, and respawn with only 13 seconds left. I use my ult to try to get us to overtime, and then try to get a smoke grenade KO again, but someone takes me out. So I try again for the enemy backline, but that causes my team to die and for overtime to run out. And sadly, we don't get the achievement. So we run it back.
You know a word I don't like? Nuance.
Oh jeez, I thought he was about to say another word.
But we don't get close in the next few matches. And with time ticking down, we have no option but to keep trying. In the next match, I get 1 smoke grenade KO, and quickly follow it up with another one. So now we got 1 smoke grenade KO left. And just when I thought I had my 3rd and final one, I mess it up. But then I get revived and I see a weak Moon Knight nearby. I shoot my smoke grenade at him and we get him. And that's achievement number 19. And now with only 21 hours, 11 minutes and 9 seconds left in this challenge, we're 1 achievement shy from getting halfway. And you all might want to strap in, because in this next day of gaming, we make so much progress. So let's kick it off with Captain America. And I'd be lying if I said I wasn't a little worried for getting him, as I've seen people struggle to get Captain America's achievement. And with time ticking down, it's very important that we do this quickly. But first, we gotta get a win. So I sprint into my first battle and it goes even worse than I thought. Kinda messed up that Bucky was the one to take me out. As I'm running back to the battle and my team captures a point, I help them out with a few KOs. I even take out Tree. We keep the enemy back and we win that round. So now we need to win 1 more round and we'll have a win on Cap. Even though I have no idea what it does, I use Cap's ultimate but fail to get a single KO with it. And I finally get my revenge on Bucky for that first round. And I had to do it twice just to make sure. We end up keeping the enemy team off the point for the rest of the round, and we win the game. So now with a win on Captain America, you think I'd be happy, but I'm actually scared. because now we have to get his achievement, Justice for All, where we have to land 3 KOs with a single use of his ultimate ability, Freedom Charge. And what does Captain America's ultimate even do? Well, it just grants him and the team a movement boost, and bonus health for roughly 10 seconds. So it doesn't really add any damage like other characters' ultimates do. And that's why so many people struggle with this achievement. And I struggled on my very next attempt. And on the attempt after that, I started to realize how hard this was going to be.
I can't do any damage. I'm actually doing no damage, man.
At that moment, I just knew that we were in for the long ride. In my next attempt, I get 1 KO, an assisted KO, and that's when I notice a really weak enemy Storm, and I try to get her. Yep, that's right. I tried to damage a hero that flies above me, that I can't even reach. But seriously, Cap does like no damage. How the hell did people even get this done? I switch up my strategy and try to go for the weaker enemies when I activate my ultimate. And even though that's a great strategy, it gets ruined by Jeff. I keep failing and failing and failing. And at this point, I find it hard to assemble the will to go on. Most of the time when I use Captain America's ultimate, I just end up punching the air towards enemies that are faster than me, which makes no sense because I thought Captain America's ultimate gave him a movement boost. And just when I thought things can't get any worse, I get stuck in a match where we're getting spawn trapped, and I fail both of my attempts that match. And in my next match, I activate my ultimate, get 2 assisted KOs and 1 KO. And I'm thinking to myself, surely that was it. Surely I don't need to get 3 KOs just by myself. I finished that match thinking it may not have been done right, but we get achievement number 20.
Yes, I did it, dude. I freaking did it.
What the? Who is that? Now we're officially at the halfway point. And guess what? It gets better. Captain America's achievement only took me an hour and a half. But now that we got a win and the achievement on Captain America, next up we have Winter Soldier, which is so poetic because not only did we get him after Captain America, but compared to Cap, he probably has one of the easiest achievements ever. And I guess somewhere in my mind, seeing other people play Bucky made me think he is a killing machine. And I honestly couldn't tell you why I faced this Punisher like I did.
What the frick, man?
I get a few KOs, charge up my ultimate, my Doctor Strange has a stroke, and I use my Kraken Impact. Even though I look like I'm struggling with it, it really is as easy as I thought it would be. And in this match, something happens which is exactly why I love this game. We get an overtime on the capture point for just over a minute. And within that minute, I pull off this madness. And we win that first round. In the second round, I try my ultimate again, but it doesn't go as smoothly as last round. My team goes in after I fail, and we capture the point, which leads us to winning the match. And would you look at that, we got the Winter Soldier's achievement too, meaning that we got a win on him and we got his achievement in one match. And for Winter Soldier's achievement, Arms Race, we had to land 3 KOs with a single use of his ultimate ability, Kraken Impact. Told you it was one of the easiest achievements. And that made up for some lost time. And up next, we have Star-Lord. And after we're done with him, we'll be officially halfway through with our 33 characters. I play around with his abilities, but as I'm figuring them out, I get taken out by a Black Panther main. I struggle to get a KO and get taken out by Black Panther again. If only I had his skill in the 10 hours I was stuck on him. But somehow, we're managing to push the vehicle forward. I try out his ultimate, which locks onto enemies if I aim in their general direction. I end up getting taken out a bunch, and sadly, we lose that first match. In the second match, I just get taken out a bunch. I get a double KO with my ultimate, and then I poopy in my pants while trying to get a health pack.
Whoa! Dude, scared the shit out of me.
And we lose that first round of the second match. In the second round, the enemy captures the point at the start, the round goes to overtime, and it's anyone's game at this point. But we manage to capture it back again, hold them back, and we win the round. Now for the final round. And if we don't win this round, we'll need to spend time trying to win in another match. We start off strong and manage to capture the point, but the enemy Wolverine doesn't like that. So he pins me to a wall and we lose the point. We manage to get the point back, now we just gotta keep it. And at this point, I think this Wolverine has a serious problem with me, because he pins me mid-air while I'm using my ultimate. But unluckily for him, he overshoots it and falls into the fire and dies. And even though the enemy put up a decent fight, we keep them off the point in overtime, and we win the match. And now that we got a win on Star-Lord, it's time for his achievement, Vengeance for the Milano, where we need to land 10 KOs with assists from the Guardians of the Galaxy. And I'm not gonna lie, but when I was watching this footage back, I forgot to count how many assists we had gotten so far. And in the following match, we had no Guardians characters. However, in the match after that, someone locks in Adam Warlock. I get 2 KOs while soul bonded, as well as a few other KOs here and there. And we get it, Star-Lord's achievement. Now we're officially halfway through our heroes, which is the perfect time for me to ask you a question. Let me know down in the comments below, who is your favorite character in Marvel Rivals so far? And if you can't pick just one, then let me know your top 3. I'll share mine at the end of the video when I'm done with all 33 characters. Up next, we have Groot. In my first match, I get to team up with Rocket Raccoon, meaning he can ride on my shoulders. And I hear them have a very deep and meaningful conversation.
They don't understand anything because they never listen.
I
Groot is quite a beefy boy and tanks a bunch of damage, making it so easy to walk the vehicle to the first checkpoint. And my healers are performing a miracle, because I make it to the literal halfway point with the vehicle before I have my first death. And we push the vehicle to the second checkpoint. One more checkpoint to go and we win the match. I make a pretty sick play by ducking into our spawn to heal before bullying this Jeff and Moon Knight. After that, we don't have much resistance from the enemy team, leading to us just walking the vehicle in, and we win the match. So now with a win on Groot, it's time for his achievement, Vicious Vines, where we have to imprison 4 enemies with a single use of his ultimate ability, Strangling Prison, which fires a massive vine cluster that pulls nearby enemies to its center and imprisons them. In my first attempt, I imprison 1 enemy, and on my second attempt, Star-Lord takes me out before I can use it. And on my third attempt, even though I can't see it because of a smoke grenade, the entire enemy team is standing right next to each other when I throw my Vicious Vines onto them. And that must have been it, because we finished the match and I get Groot's achievement. And just to remind you, we started this day of gaming with Captain America, and we've been getting wins and achievements so quickly. And we're not done yet, because up next we have Moon Knight. And I gotta say, I've been so excited to play Moon Knight, because he just looks so easy to play. I mean, look at this. I'm not even hitting my shots and I'm doing so much damage. And it gets even easier than that. Look at what happens when I use his ultimate. But unfortunately, we lose that first round. We capture the point at the start of the second round, and we hold the enemy team off the point quite well, leading us to win the second round. Now it's for real. One more round and we win the match. In the third and final round, both teams meet at the capture point, and I see the enemy Luna Snow use her ultimate. So I answer back with mine, and even though I get taken out, we capture the point. The enemy team tries to come for the capture point, but we manage to hold them back. And just as we're about to win, the enemy goes for one last hoorah. Unfortunately, they're too late and we win the match. And we get Moon Knight's achievement. And for Moon Knight's achievement, Punishment of the Moon, we needed to hit 4 enemies with a single use of his ultimate ability, Hand of Khonshu. And how good is that? A win on Moon Knight, and we got his achievement in just 1 game. Up next, we have Rocket Raccoon. And I originally thought that Rocket would be a damage dealer type, but he's actually a healer and more of a support. So instead of getting KOs, I just shoot this little yellow orb around to heal my team. But suddenly, the moon haunts me, and I die to Moon Knight's ultimate. And then I die to Psylocke, and then to Star-Lord. Honestly, aside from shooting yellow orbs around, not much happens in this match. But we managed to capture the point and start pushing the vehicle. And I've kind of noticed that only good things happen to me on this map. So I'm either going to win or get Rocket's achievement, which I don't know how to get yet. I managed to get a KO and we reach the next checkpoint. One final push left and we win the match. So it's back to spamming out yellow orbs and helping the team push. And we push the vehicle to the end, and that's a win on Rocket. Now for his achievement, Go Get 'Em Guardians, where we need to revive the Guardians of the Galaxy members 5 times. And the way in which we revive teammates is by using Rocket's ability, BRB, where we deploy a battle rebirth beacon that revives a fallen ally. And in that first match, we didn't have any Guardians members, so we're still at 0. In the following match, we get a Star-Lord and we revive him 3 times. And that's when I noticed that this achievement has a bit of luck to it. You get the revive ability every 45 seconds, and you can't choose who gets revived. First come, first served. So with that said and time ticking down, we could end up losing some time here. And with 3 revives in 1 game, we win the match and I get MVP. And in the next match, good news, I have a Groot on my team. And to make things even harder on me, Rocket is very squishy, so I just keep getting taken out. And that's when I noticed that when I die, my respawn beacon deletes itself. So in the chance that I have a respawn beacon out and a Guardian member dies but I'm dead, I can't revive them. We go on to lose that game, and even though we had a Groot on the team, I get 0 Guardian revives that match. The next match I join is in progress, and no one on my team is a Guardians character. I join another match in progress and we have a Mantis on our team, but someone else has picked Rocket. So we get kicked for inactivity just like last time. I join another game and we have a Mantis and Star-Lord, and we manage to get a revive on Mantis. Just 1 more revive left for this achievement. But unfortunately, that match gets finished before I can get another revive. In the next match, I get no Guardians characters, and the same goes for the match after that, and the match after that. And even worse, no Guardians for a 4th match.
Can somebody go freaking one of the freaking Guardians of the freaking Galaxy, please? I'm trying to get the freaking achievement so I can go for a freaking walk,
Or the 5th match, all in a row. At this point, it really starts to irk me that I'm doing this challenge solo, because I literally need 1 revive to be done with Rocket's achievement. And on the 6th match, Gamerboy 100 answers my cries, and he locks in Star-Lord. And literally as soon as the battle starts, he flies in, dies, and gets revived. We win that match, and there we go, achievement number 25. So now we got Rocket's achievement. Up next, Doctor Strange. And I got a question about Strange. Does anyone know why he always yells by the eye of Mama Coco? I start my first match with Doctor Strange, and because I've seen so many portal clips, the first thing I do is try out the ability to understand how it works. And once I place my portal, this happens.
Oh my god. What the? Did someone really just follow me through that?
Don't ask me why I jumped through my own portal, knowing that it leads me off the side of the map. I don't know. And once I respawn, I get another portal kill.
Oh, another one. What are people doing?
Now that I get his portals, I go back to playing the game normally, and I try to capture the point, but we lose that first round. We start the second round with a KO, which helps my team capture the point, but that's when I notice him. An enemy Doctor Strange. And just like with Venom, we have got to be better than the enemy Doctor Strange. The enemy Strange uses his eye of Mama Coco, but we take him out, and so far, we're the better Doctor Strange. Then the enemy dives the capture point, and that's when I use my ultimate, and we manage to clear the capture point of enemies, leading us to win that second round. The third round starts with the enemy capturing the point, and I try some portal business again, but I place it in a weird area, and it ends up confusing me. The team rallies and we push the point, and me and Iron Man hit a sick combo on a lunar snow that has our ultimate activated, leading us to capture the point. We then start to shift the tide by keeping the enemy back and off the point, leading us to win the match. And we get 2 achievements? Firstly, we got Doctor Strange's achievement, Perilous Portal, where we needed to land 1 KO with his portal. And in case you forgot, we got 2 portal KOs at the start of the match. And the second achievement, Inevitable, where we needed to win 100 matches. And we've been winning and losing about 50% of our games, meaning that I've played close to like 200 matches of Marvel Rivals by now. So let's keep it going. Next up, we have Iron Man. And just like with Storm, I spent most of my first match floating up above and shooting down on the enemy. And just like with Storm, I keep getting shot down. I managed to get a few KOs throughout the match, and I use Iron Man's ultimate. But we lose our first match. We start the second match by getting taken out by the guy who says,
"I don't feel so good."
And then Iron Man says this.
I'm gonna find whoever put me out last time.
Then we get a double kill, and we get our revenge on Spider-Man. Then Iron Man says this.
Yeah, I hold grudges.
Which I think is such a cool little detail. This game seriously continues to amaze me. And what also amazed me is how we managed to win that match, because the enemy was steamrolling us. And that's a win on Iron Man. Now for his achievement, Flawless Design, where we need to hit 4 enemies with a single use of Iron Man's ultimate ability, Invincible Pulse Cannon. And anytime I see 4 enemies, I just use my ultimate. And so on my very next attempt, the enemy Cloak and Dagger hides the enemy team.
What the f? Why don't I hit anyone?
And to make things even worse, in the attempt after that, the enemy Magneto swallows my ultimate with his ultimate. People are literally out here just to make sure I don't win. Thankfully, 3rd time's the charm, and I'm able to finally hit the enemy team with my ultimate. So it's good to know that the ability actually does something. I KO 1 person on the attempt after that, and only hit Groot with my next attempt. Further into the match, I try again from an angle that the enemy won't expect, as they're exiting Fisk Tower, and I KO their healers and damage their Groot, Mr. Fantastic, and the Punisher.
Surely that was 4 people.
Turns out we hit enough of them, and we got achievement number 28. And from when we started playing Captain America to now, all of this progress happened in one big day of gaming. So now, with only 11 more characters to get wins on, and 12 more achievements left, we have 14 hours, 27 minutes, and 25 seconds left in this challenge. And you're probably sitting there thinking that's plenty of time to finish this challenge. But coming up soon is another very difficult achievement that's going to set us back. And up next is Namor. And for Namor's achievement, we need to summon Monstro Spawn to land 10 KOs in a single game. Monstro Spawn are his little buddies he can throw out to act like little turrets that automatically shoot at enemies. So I thought it'd be fun to challenge myself to get both a win and his achievement in one game. I managed to get a few KOs comboing my attack with my little Monstro guys. And once I charge up my ultimate, I use it, which throws an entire whale at the enemy. And it squashes someone. Also real quick, screw this enemy Magneto who attacked my Monstro Spawn. What a scumbag move. But it's okay, because I get the last laugh. I get a bit too hungry for KOs and push ahead, causing me to overextend and die. I respawn and walk back to the fight, to find that the enemy team has pushed the vehicle quite far up. And even though we try to defend it, the enemy team pushes it to the next checkpoint. but that's a good thing. It just means more time to get monstrous spawn KOs. I managed to get a bunch of KOs defending the vehicle, and the match goes to overtime. And just in case I don't get the achievement, I'd still like to cross a win off the board. So we lock in, get a double monstro spawn KO, and ace the enemy team, meaning that we won the match. And we got enough monstro spawn KOs for the achievement too. So we got a win on Namor, and we got his achievement in one game, leaving us with more time, or so I thought. Because up next we have Luna Snow, and Luna's achievement is very annoying to get, but we'll get into that soon. First, we need to get a win on her. We launch into a match of domination, and for some reason, both teams don't meet to contest the capture point. Instead, we meet up at the top of the map and have a little duel up there. Then the enemy team jumps on the point to try to capture it, leading our whole team down there to contest it, and we capture it. An enemy Psylocke tries to sneakily capture the point, and she uses her ultimate to try to wipe us out, but I just heal my team from the damage she's doing. We have a bit of a back and forth, and we lose that first round. At the start of the second round, Mr. Fantastic hunts me down, and the enemy team captures the point. But we manage to capture it back at the 60% mark, and we defend it till the end of the round. Now for the final round. I use my ultimate and keep the team healthy, but I get taken out, and Winter Soldier hits a madness, and we win the match. So now with a win on Luna Snow, it's time for her achievement, and this is where we lose some time. Because for Luna Snow's achievement, Multiverse Tour, we need to complete a match on 5 maps with different themes. And as we just finished a match on an Asgard themed map, now we just need to finish a match on the following themes: Tokyo 2099, Clintar, the Intergalactic Empire of Wakanda, Hydra Base, or the Empire of Eternal Night. And just like how it took us 11 matches to get to Hela's map for her achievement, that is exactly why we're gonna lose time on this achievement. The next match is on an Intergalactic Empire of Wakanda themed map, and we win. Then we get a Tokyo 2099 themed map, and we win on that too. Yeah, I'm pretty good at gaming. And now that we have 3 out of the 5 map themes done, we're more than halfway there. And with only 38 minutes spent on Luna Snow so far, we're making good progress on this achievement. Or so I thought. Because next we get another Wakanda themed map, followed by another one, followed by a Tokyo 99 themed map, followed by an Asgard themed map, followed by another one, followed by a Wakanda themed map, followed by another Asgard themed map, followed by another Wakanda themed map, and then we finally get a Hydra base themed map after 8 matches. And even though we lose that match, thankfully we just need to complete them. So it doesn't matter if we win or lose. So that's 4 out of 5. And now that we only have 1 themed map left to complete, I thought I'd have to go through another 8 matches. But I get an Eternal Night theme on my next match. We finish the game, and I get Luna Snow's achievement. And getting that achievement took us 2 hours and 26 minutes, meaning that we have 11 hours, 44 minutes, and 8 seconds left to get through 9 more characters and get 10 more achievements. But there's an achievement coming up that actually took longer to do than Luna Snow's. But before that, we have the Hulk. I load into my first match as puny little Bruce Banner. So I transform into the Hulk. And I had Hulk smash gloves as a kid, so I kinda know what I need to do here. We capture the point off the first battle, and we start pushing the vehicle. And I get that same feeling that good things happen for me on this map. So we're either getting the win or Hulk's achievement. I get back to smashing as we push the vehicle, and just before we get it to the next checkpoint, I jump into the enemy team and transform into Monster Hulk. But I bit off way more than I could chew, and they take me out. My team gets the vehicle to the next checkpoint, then I grab the enemy and do this to them.
Oh damn.
We walk the vehicle in, and we win the game. So now with a win on the Hulk, it's time for his achievement. Smart is New Smash, where we need to land 1 KO within 3 seconds of calming down from the Hulk to Bruce Banner. So I load up another match, and I don't get it in my first attempt. Then me and Thor crash into each other, causing us to both fall over, which I didn't know was a thing, but is such a cool little detail about this game. And after I transform back to Bruce Banner, I get taken out on my second attempt. But on my 5th attempt, I get an assisted KO, and we get the achievement. Thank God I didn't have to get a KO all by myself. Next, we have Cloak and Dagger. But before we get to their very time-consuming achievement, let's get a win on Cloak and Dagger. Our first match is a vehicle push match. We fight back and forth for a few minutes, and we finally manage to get the vehicle to the first checkpoint. We then get taken out, but my team and I rally, and we push the vehicle to the next checkpoint. Just 1 checkpoint left, and we have a win on Cloak and Dagger. Once I respawn and walk back to the fight, I help take out Adam Warlock. Then I use my ultimate to create some space. After that, we go on the full offensive and spawn trap the enemy, letting us walk the vehicle in and win the match. So now that we got a win on Cloak and Dagger, it's time for their achievement, Symphony of Light and Dark, where we need to assist allies in achieving a team wipe. So just like the achievement for Mantis, we have a 10-second window to take out the entire enemy team. And just like last time, I can't go take out 6 enemies by myself for a team ace. So I'll need to get lucky and hope things line up with my team. In our second match, the closest we get is taking out these 4 enemies in a small window of time. We don't get it in our third match, and in our fourth match we take out most of the enemies, but unfortunately their Peni Parker uses her ultimate and makes it hard for us to take her out in time. And we also get super close to an ace just as the match was ending. We literally missed it by like 20 HP. We don't get one in the next match, or the match after that, or even the match after that. But in the following match, this happens.
Oh, an ace!
And it says it right there on the screen. We got an ace. We finished the match, but for some reason, we don't get the achievement. I thought that maybe the game glitched out or something, so maybe after my next match, it'll give it to me. But even after playing another match, it didn't give me the achievement. So maybe I didn't get the team wipe like I thought I did. We had 11 hours left when we finished Lunar Snow, and I've spent so much time on Cloak and Dagger that now we only have 7 hours, 40 minutes, and 10 seconds left for us to get through 8 more characters and get 9 more achievements, meaning we have less than an hour for each remaining character. So with time ticking down, I have no choice but to march on.
That's an ace. Surely I get that. Surely that's the achievement, please, for the love of God. Yes, oh my god.
And we've done it. We got Cloak and Dagger's achievement, and that took way longer than it should have, mainly due to the game bugging out and not giving us the achievement when we got the ace the first time. Next up, we got Thor. In my very first battle, I get a bit too ahead of myself.
I'm dead.
And in my battle after that, I pull off this insane prediction to take out this Cloak and Dagger. Like I said before, I do a bit of gaming, but I get taken out, and we end up losing that first round. We start the second round by capturing the point, but I get taken out, and by the time I respawn, the enemy captures the point back. So to cut a long story short, we lose that match. In the next match, I get a KO, die, the enemy team captures the point, I fail at using my ultimate, get another KO, die again, capture the point at 99%, still don't understand how to use my ultimate, get taken out,
Oh, brother.
and we lose that first round. The second round goes just as badly as the first one. We end up losing the match, but we get Thor's achievement, Divine Justice, where we need to strike down on 4 enemies with a single use of his ultimate ability, God of Thunder, which I didn't even know I got, because even though it looks like 2 people here, after looking back on the footage, I actually hit 4 people as I was flying up. So now that we got Thor's achievement, we just need a win on him. And in the next match, we get the exact same map we've played for the last 2 games. So at this point, I'm genuinely sick of playing this map. And I think that triggered something in me, because I destroy the enemy respawn beacon, take out the enemy rocket, then the enemy Venom, and we capture the point. I take out a few more enemies as we have them trapped in their own spawn, beat the enemy Thor,
So I just had to beat myself up.
and we win that first round. I start the next round taking out the enemy as my team captures the point. We continue to take them out and hold them back in their spawn again, leading us to win the match. And that's a win on Thor. And up next we have Magneto, and I'm so keen to play him, because I've been watching Tim the Tattooed Man win with Magneto in competitive mode, and this guy couldn't even win a game of Fall Guys. Which is a game made for babies. So how hard could Magneto be? Turns out it's a bit hard to get the hang of him, because the only time I'm getting any KOs is when I get lucky shots like this. As my first match goes on, the enemy team continue to push the vehicle. Then they hit their next checkpoint. One more push and we lose the match. And with around 4 minutes left in this match, I need to do some serious defending. So I use my ultimate and I miss.
Oh, hit the building, bro. That's so rough.
We get a few more KOs defending the vehicle, I miss my ultimate again, and now I need to apologize to Tim the Tattooed Man, because turns out my Magneto needs a lot of work. We get a few more KOs, defend the vehicle, and we win the match. So now it's time for Magneto's achievement, Homo Superior, where we need to assist mutant allies 10 times. And the way we're going to get this achievement is by using our bubble shield on mutant allies while they're attacking the enemy. And in the next match, I get no assists. And in the match after that, I notice I'm getting a bit better with Magneto's ultimate. In the following match, we have a Storm on our team, and anytime I see her, I give her a bubble shield. And in return, she gives me 9 assists. So now we just need 1 more assist. And after the next match, we get a Scarlet Witch on my team. I shield her and she gives me an assist. And shout out to Big Baddie Gal, because thanks to her, we get the achievement for Magneto. And finishing Magneto took us 1 hour and 33 minutes. And next up, we have Spider-Man. And my very first swing is into a wall. And my very first battle is one where I failed to take down Black Widow.
Oh my god, I'm so bad.
And Spider-Man says it best.
Now I've got something to prove.
So I find the enemy Black Widow, and just as I thought I was going to get taken out again, I get my first KO with Spider-Man.
Oh my god. Why was that so hard?
But unfortunately for me, after that, I just get taken out over
Oh my god, bro.
and over
Oh my.
and over again, and we lose that first round. In the second round, I charge up my ultimate and use it to get another easy KO. And even though we end up capturing the point, I spend most of the round just dying, and we end up losing that first match. Even though my next match starts off badly,
Oh my god, I'm so bad.
the enemy team pushes the vehicle to the first checkpoint, and you just know you're doing bad when you stop to read the character's abilities page. But getting a double kill for pressing one button sure did make me feel better about myself. And so did beating up Jeff. As the match goes on, I start to get the hang of Spider-Man's combo, but unfortunately it wasn't enough to hold the enemy back, and they end up getting to the next checkpoint. One more push from the enemy and we lose our second game as Spider-Man. But luckily for me, I engage in some tomfoolery, keep the enemy team back, and we win the match. And that's when I knew Spider-Man is hard. So how the heck am I going to get his achievement? Spider Sense Tingling, where we need to detect an enemy with Spider Sense and land a winning counterattack. And in case you didn't know, Spider Sense is Spider-Man's passive ability, which gives him a warning when enemies are close by. And in the next match, my Spidey senses activate against the enemy Venom, causing me to get an assisted KO with Scarlet Witch. And my P-Tesh sensors go off when I try to swing into the fight.
I'm getting out of here.
And toward the end of the match, my Spidey senses activate again. I take out the enemy Hawkeye, and we get Spider-Man's achievement, which we managed to do in only 3 matches. Up next, we have Scarlet Witch, and I gotta say, she's one of the easiest characters to play. I literally just hold down the attack button and get free KOs for it. And if things get a bit too crazy, I can just hit a button and run away because no one can damage me, which explains why she has a 1-star difficulty. And even though the enemy team captures the first point and starts to push the vehicle, I managed to pull this off after the enemy Adam Warlock revives his team.
Damn, I am going in. I just got a quadra.
And we win our first match. And that just shows how easy Scarlet Witch is. Now for her achievement, No More Mutants, where we gotta take down mutant enemies 10 times. And in that match we just played, we got 5 KOs on the enemy Magik. And in the match after that, we have an enemy Magneto, and we take him out twice in the first round. Then we take him out twice in the second round. And we get this pretty cool triple KO with Scarlet Witch's ultimate while hiding in the tree on the capture point. And just as the third round starts, we get this pretty cool quad KO as the capture point unlocks. And we get the quad by taking out the enemy Magneto, meaning we have 10 mutant KOs with Scarlet Witch. And even though we lost the match, we get Scarlet Witch's achievement. Thankfully, that was one of the easier achievements to get. And now we only have 3 characters left to finish this challenge. And for our third last hero, we have Psylocke. And for our first match with her, we join a game that's already halfway through. And just as we get to the battle, the enemy Psylocke uses her ultimate, which makes me scared because I don't know how to play Psylocke yet. And that's why the enemy's one takes me out. I respawn and get back to the battle and try to stop the enemy from pushing the vehicle to its next checkpoint. But unfortunately, there's nothing I can do. I manage to get a few KOs, but my team and I can't defend the vehicle, and we lose that first match. We start the second match off with a few KOs, and we capture the vehicle. And as we push the vehicle to the next checkpoint, I see my opportunity to use my ultimate, and I manage to scoop up a couple of KOs. And for Psylocke's achievement, Way of the Butterfly, we need to contest the mission area for 60 seconds in a single match. And seeing as we were kind of stuck in this area on the final push for around 4 minutes, I think we have more than enough time contesting the mission area. And somehow I finish up that match with a hexa kill. And we get Psylocke's achievement. So that's a win on Psylocke and her achievement in our second match with her. And for our second last hero, we have Peni Parker. So I just shoot at the enemy and throw my mines towards them every chance I get. And just as I use my ultimate for my first time with Peni Parker, I get taken out once again. So even though Peni Parker said it's spider time, it was indeed not spider time. The enemy team somehow manages to spawn trap us, and they keep us there for the next 2 minutes. So unfortunately, we lose that first match. We start the next match by capturing the point. I get a few KOs here and there, and we win our first round. The enemy team captures the point at the start of the second round. I get taken out, and as I check the scoreboard, I notice that someone has logged into my second account. But we manage to capture the point, keep the enemy team back, and we win the match. So now with a win on Peni Parker, it's time for her achievement, Watch Your Step, where we need to blast 3 enemies with a single use of Arachnomine. So here's my plan on how I'm going to get this achievement. I'm going to run all the way over to their spawn and put a bunch of my mind trap thingies on the floor, right where they walk out from. And even though I thought I got it there, unfortunately that wasn't it. And after a few more matches, I get the opportunity again. So I run over, set it up, and just like before, I thought that was it and that we done it. But unfortunately, we don't get it again. The next 2 matches I'm on attack, and the match after that is a domination match. So for 3 matches, I don't get the opportunity to set up my traps. But in the match after that, we get another chance to exact our plan. So I set everything up as well as I could.
For the love of God, please. Oh my god, bro.
And even though we lose the match, we somehow get the achievement. And after looking back through the footage, turns out we got 3 hit markers with these few mines I set up in the middle of the match, which honestly is probably how the Marvel Rivals developers intended for people to get this achievement. And now with Peni Parker's achievement, we have 1 hour, 52 minutes and 55 seconds left to get through 1 more character and get 2 more achievements. And lastly, we have Black Widow. For our first match, we join a game in progress, where we're getting spawn trapped. And because I haven't had to aim through a crosshair while playing this game for the last 46 hours, the fact that I had to start having good aim was a bit of a struggle. It genuinely felt like I didn't know how to aim. And I'm doing so bad with my aim that I only managed to get 1 KO, which is no surprise when you find out that I lost that first match. And big improvement in the next match, because I get 3 KOs. But we still managed to lose our second match. And to make things even worse, we join a game in progress again. And look how far the enemy has pushed the vehicle. So yep, you guessed it, we lost that 3rd match too. And you'd think around 2 hours is plenty of time to get through our last character and get the last 2 achievements. But so far, I'll be honest with you, it ain't looking too crash hot. And for our 4th match, my team manages to capture the domination point. And I miss most of my shots, except for when I hit this Moon Knight Unk, because it can't move. And shout out to my team who carried my sorry ass to win that first round. I start the second round off pretty neat, and my team manages to capture the point again. I miss a bunch of shots like usual, but unfortunately, we lose that second round. And this is literally it. If we lose this final round, we will have lost 4 matches in a row. So I really gotta play my best game. And we lost. But we got Black Widow's achievement, Deadly Bites, where we have to land 3 KOs with critical hits in a single match, which I somehow managed to do in the first round. But we still gotta get a win. So we load up our 5th match and we lose that too. So with roughly 45 minutes spent losing on Black Widow, we really need to win this next match. I spend most of my match shooting from afar, but also getting close and personal when I need to. And now that I've spent a good amount of time on Black Widow, I start to actually help my team out with some KOs. And with roughly 30 seconds till we win, surely nothing could go wrong, right? Well, the enemy team pops their ultimates and starts their push. I get taken out and the enemy team captures the vehicle. But I say enough is enough. I'm not losing another match. So I lock in for the next few minutes, because this is probably the hardest character to win with in this entire challenge. And finally, after 6 matches, we get a win with Black Widow. And now that we've got a win on every character, and we have every character's achievement, we're not done yet, because there's 1 achievement left. And with only 57 minutes and 4 seconds left in order to get our final achievement and finish this challenge, you're gonna wanna buckle in. Because although this achievement is super easy to get, Marvel Rivals actually trolls me and we end up losing a lot of time here. And that probably makes you wonder, will we fail to make it before 48 hours are up, or will we win this challenge? And our last achievement is Assemble, where we need to team up with a friend for a match. So my goal is to go into a match, find a friend, add them to my friends list, then team up with them to get this achievement. So I load up another match, get thrown off the side of the map.
Oh my god.
Then I send a friend request to everyone in that match. And it works, because CM12RJ04 adds me to their friends list, and his party. I play through a game with him, and for some reason we don't get the achievement. So with 33 minutes and 18 seconds left, I have a quick Google search to make sure I'm doing this right. And turns out you need to literally team up, as in have a team up activated with a friend. So I invite Goon Squad to my party, who was another person I sent a friend request to. And I select a character that has a team up ability with the character he chooses. We finished that match, but just like before, we didn't get it again. And at this point, I thought maybe I literally have to play with a friend from Steam. So with 20 minutes and 30 seconds left, and with Marvel Rivals literally trolling me with this achievement, I was in dire need of some help. So I called in some backup. Please, you have to help me, bro. Please help me, please. I add my Steam friend Turtle on Marvel Rivals, queue up a match, activate our team up ability, win the match, and there it is, our final achievement. But hey, we completed the challenge, with a win on all 33 characters from launch, and all 40 Steam achievements. And doing all of that only took me 47 hours, 52 minutes, and 41 seconds. So if you made it this far, please show some support by pressing that like button, subscribing to the channel for future Marvel Rivals challenges, commenting something below, and maybe even sharing this video with a friend. I'd appreciate any love you guys can give this video. It took so long to record and also edit, but damn was it so fun to do. And you might want to follow me on Twitch too, because the next challenge I got coming up, I'm gonna live stream the whole thing. YouTube thinks you'll enjoy this video, so why not click it next and see if they're right.